So we finally get some clarity around the Joe Richards move to Port Adelaide. At age 24, he decides to pursue the chance to move to Port. Here's the first interview, a snippet from the interview with Joe Richards regarding why he chose Port Adelaide.
Made the decision. He's a pretty down-to-earth guy and someone that you want to play for, as you would have seen this year with the Port guys. So, first meeting was really good and made the decision. I think first day of trade period, that was when I actually made the decision. So it was really hard. It's hard to leave good people, good coaches, good players. So, and Collingwood's such a big club too, so it's hard to leave that. The main one was probably opportunity. I'm 24 now, so I don't have a lot of football ahead of me, and it was more about just playing the most AFL games as I can while I've still got the opportunity. So, it was more just about opportunity where I see myself playing the most football. I don't think it'll be too different to sort of the Collingwood fan base and what they provide at the MCG, but I've watched both showdowns this year and, look good to be a part of.
So it came down to opportunity, as we all probably had thought, and made the decision a formality on the first day of the trade period in 2024. And look, you probably have to factor in that the fact that Collingwood did not match Port Adelaide's contract length initially, that would have had to have played a role in Richards weighing up the two options, given the 2-year versus 3-year opportunity at Port, and probably suggests that opportunities were more limited at Collingwood versus a place like Port Adelaide. Reading deeper into it, when you look at Collingwood's forward line at the moment and who is going to be ahead of him at the time, you've got Jamie Elliott, who probably still has, at the very least, next year ahead of him and hopefully 2026. You've got Bobby Hill, who is an X-factor lock. Bo is integral to the forward line pressure and around the stoppages. And then Lachie Schultz is heavily invested in with the picks we gave away and still has more to prove after having an okay season this year, being the second highest goal scorer for the Pies in 2024. We also might go a bit taller, especially bringing in Tim Membry. That might change the look of what Collingwood typically looks like. We usually have 2 keys and 4 smaller forwards in the makeup of that forward 6. So that is probably something Joe and his team definitely considered. And at the end of the day, Richards was pivotal in the acquisition for Dan Houston. And after being taken late in the 2022 National Draft at pick 48 as a 22-year-old, you'd have to say it's a net return for Collingwood for a player who only played 9 games AFL level. Of course, his ability to hit a pass inside 50, his temperance, composure will be missed. But admittedly, he does have better opportunity at Port Adelaide. I'm just looking at their forward line right now. They've got Darcy Byrne-Jones, who was formerly a All-Australian defender, so he's a makeshift forward at the moment. Willie Rioli is probably their only true small forward who can display levels of consistency at AFL level. Francis Evans was delisted, Quinton Narkle was delisted, and then that's pretty much all they have. So it was a real need for Port Adelaide, which is, once again, why we probably got one of the reasons why we got the Houston trade over the line, because of the need for a small forward like Joe Richards. What do you guys think? Are you happy with how it all transpired in the end? And how do you think Joe Richards will go at Port Adelaide? Go Pies.
How productive with those hands. Pendlebury, Cameron, McRae. Hard to keep up.
Here it is.
Richards! Wow! A famous Collingwood name. Get used to Joe Richards.
Look at the celebration.
I'm not sure he's going to have much hair left after this.
They love their football, the Collingwood.